Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap, and guys, welcome to your another important lecture for the most important PIB news that were there from 21st to 27th of July and that are relevant both for the examination of RBI, NABARD and SEBI. So now guys, without wasting any time, let's start with the topics. The topics that I will be discussing in today's lecture are very much important for both phase 1 and phase 2 of your examination. Now let's start with the first question of the day. The first question is regarding the recently launched scheme that is by the name of Deen Dayal Sparsh Yojana that has been released by the Department of Post. So initially these are the 2 points that you should remember. That is what is the name of a scheme, that is Deen Dayal Sparsh Yojana, and which has launched this thing. It has been launched by Department of Post. So question I'm asking you, what does P in this Sparsh Yojana stands for? Is it philately, philosophical, practical, promotion या फिर participatory? Answer क्या है? Answer इसका that is promotion. So if I talk about the scheme is basically focusing on philately activities. तो इसका मतलब क्या होता है? What is philately all about? It is the collection of stamps. Collection of stamps is basically known as philately. ठीक है? So when I talk about this thing, it has been launched on 25th of July. ठीक है जी? Very important thing that I've discussed. Department of Post has launched this thing. It is a philately scholarship scheme. So this has been cleared just from the heading of this specific news. Now when I talk about what does this scheme tell us about, its name is Scholarship for the Promotion of Aptitude and Research in STEM as a Hobby. So this is important thing to remember here is guys, don't get confused with the other specific SPURS scheme. ठीक है, यहाँ पे सबसे ज्यादा आपको ध्यान रखना है, it is दीन दयाल SPURS scheme, that is the Scholarship for Promotion of Aptitude and Research in STEM as a Hobby is the full form of this SPURS scheme. The next question again that I have asked on the scheme is, because it is a newly launched scheme, so there is a very high probability that the examiner can ask you a question on the eligibility and the conditions that are required for this specific scheme. So based on that, we have formed a question that which statements are correct about the scheme. A candidate must be the student of class 6th and 9th. This is an important thing. ठीक है, eligibility, that is class eligibility has been mentioned here. Scholarship test, or if I talk about selection process, will be basically consisting at 2 levels. And third is, it says that an award of scholarship will be provided to those candidates who must have scored 60% marks or equivalent in the recent final examination. Whether it is recent final examination or not, these are the keywords that you have to focus when you are answering this specific question. So coming here guys, again I will be repeating myself, that the things I am repeating in my earlier lecture also. What you have to do is pause here, try to solve the question. If you haven't read the scheme, don't worry, then also try to solve the question, because you will be getting the answer within few seconds. Okay? But the important thing is, if you have read about that thing, try to solve this question. Pause here, try to solve the question here. Second thing is, if you do not have to remember, try to at least have an idea. If you do not know that thing in the examination also and the question comes, what will be your point of action then? So remember these things when you are looking at these specific questions. So here guys, all the statements that are given here are correct about the scheme. When I talk about the scheme, its eligibility condition states that a candidate must be a student of class 6th to 9th from a recognized school in India. Then there are two things which might be confusing for us. First is, the schools should have a philately club and the candidate should be a member of the club. This has been mentioned in the eligibility, but here similarly along with that, the question might be coming, if the school does not have this philately club, what should be the thing here? Then it says student have his own philately deposit account. मतलब उसके पास, he should have a collection of stamps. That is the reason he will become eligible for this, because he will be getting scholarship for the stamp collection. That is the reason here. If a club has been made in school and he is a member, that is eligibility. But if there is no club, then he should have his or her own philately deposit account. Then the very important thing is, scholarship will be basically provided to the candidates who are scoring at least 60% of marks. But here the relaxation has been given to the SC/ST candidates for 5% relaxation. मतलब इनको कितने चाहिए होंगे? 55%. Remember this thing, 5% relaxation means that they will be needing 5% less, which will be 55% here. Okay, so 2-level quiz will be there. Level 1, a philately written quiz, and second will be your project depositing. and the quiz will be held at regional level. So this is the major understanding, this is the major thing that has been shared by the Department of Post about this Deen Dayal Sparsh Yojana. So I think now this thing has been clear. Now let's move to the second topic of the day. That is, a very important app has been launched, that is by the name of e-Amrit app, has recently been launched. You have to tell me, it has been launched in collaboration with the United Kingdom. Which among the following organization of India has basically launched this initiative? And if I talk about the answer here, it is Niti Aayog. So what is the news? Guys, the news was that COP26 presidency. We know the presidency is for United Kingdom. ठीक है, COP26 कहाँ पे हुई है? It has taken place at Glasgow. So these are the points we know. Now the heading says that COP26 and Niti Aayog has launched an initiative to boost electric mobility. And in this specific thing, an e-Amrit app has been launched, which is accelerated e-mobility revolution for India's transportation, which is focusing more on creating awareness about the electric mobility in India. It is a joint initiative of Niti Aayog and the United Kingdom government, because UK has the presidency of COP26. This is the reason it is United Kingdom government. So this is the things you have to remember. Then if I talk about the other important thing, okay, engagement will be enhanced here. Students, the persons will be made aware about the benefits of electric vehicles. So if I talk about electric vehicles, guys, we have just discussed in our previous sessions about, I think, of 18th to 19th of July, we have discussed about FAME scheme. That is again focusing on electric mobility. Okay, electric hybrid vehicles, it is again focusing on that specific thing, and similar on that line. Now see, this tells us that what are the kind of questions that could be formed. Okay, electric vehicles are now being seen consistently in use, so you should be very much aware about this FAME scheme also, which we have discussed in our earlier sessions. Okay, so if you do not have seen that specific lecture, guys, don't worry, you will be getting the link of that specific thing in the description. 18th to 19th of July, I have discussed about the FAME scheme there also. It is again regarding the electric vehicles in India. So talk about this initiative is again wanting to promote, to create awareness about the electric mobility in India. But it is an initiative which we are collaborating with some foreign country, that is United Kingdom here. Then guys, coming to the next topic of the day, that is Study in India program. So recently there was an article on Study in India program in PIB, which is an initiative of Ministry of Education. This though we can easily guess, Study in India means it will be an initiative of Ministry of Education. The question I'm asking you is, when, in which of the following year this Study in India program was basically launched? So it was launched in year 2018. The next thing that should be understand about Study in India programs are some of the key things, okay, some of the key initiatives here. So it is an initiative of Ministry of Education. Okay, statements you have to tell me which are correct here. It targets 48 countries across Southeast Asia, Middle East and Africa. Then it says students from all over the world can apply. Now this is a statement which looks quite contradictory here. If you look at the option here and if you do not know anything about that, so we might be confusing between option number B and option number C. Because one thing the program says, it is targeting on 48 countries. Okay? Focus is on 48 countries of Southeast Asia, Middle East and Africa. The second statement says the students from all over the world can apply. Now if I give you an answer here, guys, if you see here. So again, one thing more, look at this question. Okay, ji? I presented you the question. Look at this question here. Pause here and solve this question. I will be sharing the answer within few seconds, but you have to pause here and you have to tell me in the comment box that which answer you have marked here. And if you have got your answer wrong here, then also tell me in the chat box, okay sir, I got it wrong because I got confused here. This is the most important thing, guys. And if I tell you the answer here is all these statements are correct. So yes, this is a glitch in this program. Not if you can say glitch, but it is a trick in this program which many of students might get confused here. Yes, the prime focus of the program is basically on the 48 targeted countries, but it also tells, however, the students from all over the world can apply for this Study in India program. So this is the thing here. See, target countries, 48 countries, but it specifies here that students from all over the world can apply for this specific program. Initiative of Ministry of Education was launched in April 2018. So it was seen on news on 27th of April, guys, if I talk about here. Now see here, the important thing, see here, the partner countries are 160 plus Indian universities. So this is again a key point that you have to remember. Okay, and they will be basically selected on a national institutional framework ranking. So these 160 universities, those who have been selected here for this program, okay, they will be selected based on their NIRF rank, that is National Institute Ranking Framework, and the National Assessment and Accreditation Council gradings. So based on these things, these 160 plus Indian institutes will be made eligible. So this is again important for us. Okay, again important because they can ask you a question on these specific points also. Then if I talk about the important thing here, scholarship will be based on a test. The name of the test is Pragati. So we have discussed about Pragati guidelines also. We have, okay? So you must be remembering about Pragati guidelines here also. So now your first homework for the day is you have to tell me in the chat box about Pragati guidelines. So tell me what are these guidelines, what are the targets under the Pragati guidelines. So this is a very important thing, Pragati, because this is not Pragati guidelines. It is saying the test name is Pragati, but it is not talking about Pragati guidelines. So here again, do not get confused here, guys. Pragati guidelines are something different, but this test is named as Pragati. That is the performance rating of application through global aptitude test for Indian students. This is the meaning of Pragati, and Pragati guidelines is something different. So now you have to tell me in the comment box about Pragati guidelines also. Okay, so this is the time to revise this here, because I always say we have seen a lot of time the confusion gets on the naming. कई बार तो गवर्नमेंट ही ऐसे जैसे स्पर्श योजना पड़ी, ठीक है, तो स्पर्श में भी कंफ्यूजन हो सकती है कि सर स्पर्श स्कीम कौन सी. सो दैट्स व्हाई रिमेंबर दीन दयाल स्पर्श इज फॉर फिलेटली, दैट इज रिगार्डिंग स्टेम्स. तो दीन दयाल स्पर्श किसके बारे में, स्टेम्स के बारे में. द नेक्स्ट स्पर्श योजना इज अबाउट समथिंग डिफरेंट, दैट इज समथिंग इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके जी, चलिए कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, ठीक है, दैट इज ऑन द एंटरप्रेन्योर्स एंड स्टार्टअप. सो व्हिच इज द स्टेट विद द मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ निधि EIR supported startups. So Nidhi EIR, again a very important program, entrepreneur in Indian residence program of Nidhi. Okay, so the recent data on that has been released. So you have to tell me which state has the maximum numbers and maximum startups under this special program. The answer here is Maharashtra. So if I talk you the answer, Maharashtra is at first place, Karnataka is at second place, and Tamil Nadu is at third place. So this is the ranking that has been given by the government. The next question again on this special program, that is Entrepreneur is Residence Program of Nidhi. I am asking a question here. Okay, one thing to remember, it is an initiative of, it is implemented Department of Science and Technology. Okay, so this is to remember Department of Science and Technology, and it is implemented under Nidhi program. So coming to the next statements or the other statements that I have asked you about the program, it is a pre-incubation program to generate pipelines of entrepreneurs or startups. It is relatable to the program. Then its implementation partner is technology business incubators. The next is selected entrepreneurs or startups is eligible for a grant of up to rupees 30,000 per month for a period of 24 months. So guys, why I am saying you again and again, I will be repeating here, whenever you are solving the statement based questions, your prime focus should be on the keywords. You have to start picking up the keywords, and that will really help you in solving these MCQs. Otherwise it will become a really difficult thing for you if you are not able to focus on keywords here. So keyword is eligibility, implementation, aim of this program. So aim is basically pre-incubation program. TKG. Implementation is technology business incubators. Eligibility, whether grant of 30,000 per month will be given for 24 months or something like that, or whether 30,000 rupees is given or some other rupees are given. So these should be your prime focus. And if I tell you here guys, option number D, only 1 and 2 is correct. Why third statement becomes incorrect? Because it is 12 months, not 24 months. So this is the reason here, it is 12 months, not 24 months here. Okay. So if I talk about the things, so guys, recently on 27th of July, government has released a data on Nidhi Entrepreneurs in Residence program. So here it has been said Maharashtra, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu are the top 3 states here. So this tells us guys, even just by looking at the heading of the PIB, many questions are directly being framed just from the headlines, and these are the important data because top 3 ranking. And yes, the examiner has a tendency to ask these kind of questions: who has topped it, who is at second place, who is at third place. So top by Maharashtra, second is Karnataka, and third is Tamil Nadu. So if I talk about the EIR program, what is this Entrepreneur in India Residence program all about? As I have discussed, it is a pre-incubation program which is working to create a pipeline of entrepreneurs in India in technological sector. That's why see the implementing body. It is implemented by Department of Science and Technology under the Ministry of Science and Technology. The important thing that should remember it is implemented under this Nidhi initiative. It is basically being implemented under this Nidhi initiative. Okay? As I've discussed, the support is basically given to entrepreneurs to work on this science and technology initiative. Now, if we talk about the implementation partner, it is technology business incubators. That statement was right here. Then I talk about the other important things. So the data specific point that you should remember about the eligibility of this program is, yes, the selected entrepreneurs will get a grant of rupees 30,000 per month. Remember this thing, it is 30,000 per month. The examiner might give you an option like, so now this statement becomes right or this. So both the statements are right because examiners can play with you like that also. So you might be feeling 30,000 is the answer here, and he will write the statement that an eligible grant of 3,60,000 per annum will be given here. This is the statement that will be there in your examination. Because if you are not aware at that point of time, you might commit a mistake here. Okay, we have read 30,000. Sir ने बोला 30,000 होता है तो 30,000 ही है. But it is 30,000 per month, which is for a period of 12 months. यानी कि for 1 year, the grant will be provided of rupees 3,60,000, which is circumvented as 30,000 per month. Then if I talk about this grant, they say the grants will be disbursed in the form of fellowships. Okay, the grants will be given to you in the form of fellowships through a network of 29 technology business incubators. So the recent data has also been given, guys, but you can have a look at this here. The important to remember are the top 3 states, that is Maharashtra, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Now guys, coming to the next question. So recently, this is a very important because this is a news of 27th July, but the day on which I am recording this lecture, still a few hours ago, there was an important information that has been given by the Prime Minister on the GIFT City because he has visited there and he has launched a lot of initiatives there. So based on that, I am coming with you with this question. So guys, recently, the Prime Minister has launched India's first international bullion exchange. So many of you might be feeling that this is not relevant for finance. Or it is not relevant for NABARD, sorry if I say. So here guys, remember one thing. I have said you that there is a topic by the name of reforms in banking and financial sector. So this is a very big reform that has taken place in financial sector, and there is a possibility that a question will be asked on this specific line also. Okay. So because it has a very big, let's say, first time something has taken place in the GIFT City, that is the reason the question would be asked here. So I think when I am saying GIFT City, every one of you know the answer. That is option number A, Gandhi Nagar. So if I talk about the thing here, guys, the next question, if I talk about this thing, take a next question on the similar line things, the initiatives that have been announced here. The second question I am asking you is, this is NSE, IFSC, SGX Connect. Again, an initiative has been launched by the Prime Minister when he was launching the first bullion exchange in the GIFT City. So here I am asking you a question is that this Connect is basically involving which of the following foreign countries. Okay, the purpose will be to route and match the NSE, IFSC order matching and trading platform. So it is a trading platform for Connect Exchange, in which Nifty will be playing a prominent role here. So the answer here is that is option number D, Singapore. With Singapore, you have formed this NSE, IFSC, SGX Connect. So guys, don't worry, I will be explaining each and everything to you in this lecture. Don't worry about that. Then the next question is, this is again a very prominent question. This we have found from the PIB itself. Okay, the question I'm asking is because when we talk about GIFT City, which among the following is the first global bank to establish a GIS at the GIFT IFSC Center, Global Innovation Center at GIFT City, which was the first bank to establish that specific center? So what should be the answer here? If I say here, Pause here, try to see what should be the answer here. The answer here is option number D, that is Bank of America. Okay, it is option number D, that is Bank of America is the right answer here. So when I talk about this thing as important milestones would be announced. It was a news on 27th of July when Prime Minister said that yes, some important initiatives will be announced. And here it was said that he will be launching India's first international bullion exchange, that is IIBX at the GIFT City. This was India's first international bullion exchange to be launched, which has been now been launched in the Gandhinagar. The important thing on 29th of July when he has visited that specific place. So these are the lot of initiatives that the Prime Minister has announced. So now I will be discussing the important key initiatives that have been announced by the Prime Minister or have been launched. First is India's International Bullion Exchange. The purpose here is we want to make the price discovery very much efficient in India. Second important thing is when I talk about the specific bullion exchange, it will be helping you in financialization of gold in India. So this is the important point to remember. Okay? It will be helping you in financialization of gold in India. That is the main purpose of India's International Bullion Exchange. But the most important thing is it is India's first international bullion exchange. That is the main thing that you have to remember here. Second thing that I have asked you about, that is NSE, IFSC, SGX Connect. So what does the important thing here is, it is NSE's, if I talk about IFSC. So IFSC is basically subsidiary of National Stock Exchange, that is the International Financial Services Center. They have basically created a framework along with the Singapore Exchange Limited. And if I talk about this framework, it is basically this Connect framework. If I talk about purpose of this framework, as I was discussing, Nifty will be playing a prominent role here. So here guys, all the orders on Nifty derivatives which will be placed by the members of Singapore Exchange, they will be routed to a match system on this order matching platform. So on this order matching platform, the derivatives, the transactions that have been done by the Singapore members on the Nifty derivatives will be basically matched on this specific platform. Okay, ji? Then the next important thing that was being shared is Indian Regional Office of the New Development Bank has again been inaugurated here in the GIFT City. So the purpose here, what does the purpose of this IRO will be done here is, it will be basically working on the effective and efficient implementation of the new development projects that have been signed by the NDB. Now the important information that was shared in PIB about the new development bank that many of you might remember here is, because when a kind of question comes in the examination, we might get confused how this kind of question comes. So there might be a question on new development bank and they will be giving you information on NDB, and then they can ask you this kind of a statement that NDB has approved 20 projects in India which are valuing around 7.2 billion. So now guys, the important thing is whenever you are revising new development bank, you should also be thorough about these recent development on the NDB also. That is Indian Regional Office under the new development bank has been set up at the GIFT City, that is Gandhinagar. If I talk about the projects here, so NDB has sanctioned we working on 20 projects in India which is valuing around $7.2 billion. The next thing was there was an inauguration of international banking units of the foreign banks in the GIFT City. And if I talk about here, what are these three foreign banks for whose the international banking units are being inaugurated here? These three banks are there, that is Dutch Bank, JP Morgan and MUFG Bank. So these three banks, their international banking units will basically be set up in this GIFT City. This was again been inaugurated here. Then I talk about the Global In-House Center of the Bank of America, that is their Global In-House Capacity GIC centers. If I talk about, they have been expanded here. But the important thing for our examination point of view is not about the expansion. The important is that this Bank of America was the first global bank who has established a global in-house center in GIFT City. That is the important thing that you should need to remember from the examination point of view. Then guys, a letter of intent has been given by 100 plus brokers along the, if I talk about the organizations here, so associations of national exchange member and these commodity participant association of India, they have said that 100 of the brokers, they will be now operationalizing their work in the GIFT City. Now, very important thing is 75th listing of the India INX India. So, India INX India, they have listed its 75th bond. The purpose is to celebrate the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And if I talk about here, it says that 50 billion, around US dollar 50 billion has been listed on the India INX platform. So guys, again I will be saying to you, don't remember each and every data, but the important thing is these kind of data. 75th listing, how much money. These are something important that is important for your examination, especially for those examinations like RBI and SEBI. These kind of data will be prominent here. Then if I talk about the next thing is trade financial services platforms bhi bana hai, that is international trade financial services entities. They said that their regulatory sandbox, they will be setting up their platform under the regulatory sandbox of IFSCA. Then the next is guys, international sustainability platform has also been launched here. The purpose is basically to mobilize the capital flows for corporate, government and Indian institutions. This is the reason being here, that is to mobilize the framework or to mobilize the capital flow for the corporates and governments here. So guys, this was all about the session here. So you can get the same here, you can read this, all the important initiatives that has been launched in your PDF. Okay. Then the very important thing is guys, if you guys have liked the session, kindly subscribe to the channel. You can also share the videos if you find it useful with your friends also. And then to get the access of the PDF guys, you just have to do one thing. You have to subscribe to the Telegram channel, the link for which is given in the description below, and you will be getting the PDF there. So revise these questions, revise these important things, the Yojana that has been launched, recently launched initiative I have discussed with you, important programs that were being seen in news. So try to revise them and try to solve the questions on yourself also. Then guys, a very important announcement for all of you. So we are running a month end sale for the courses, that is on our combo courses of RBI, NABARD and SEBI. So if you want to win any of the courses, that is be it gold, silver or combos of NABARD, RBI or SEBI, you will be getting a flat 40% off plus an additional 10% off. The important thing is you have to use this code, that is WOW46, and this is valid till midnight. So try to jump into it, okay? Because this is a very great offer guys. Try to jump into the offer and you can use the offer, you can avail the offer by using the code. Just remember one thing, that is WOW46 is the one thing that you have to remember. So guys, that was all about the session. If you guys have any kind of query, you could drop us an email at hello@edutap.co.in. You could even place us a call, that is at this number 81462 I hope guys the lecture is fruitful for you. So keep learning, keep preparing hard, and wishing you all the best for your upcoming examination. Bye bye.